As the story of Vic Mignogna and the allegations against him continue, it looks like the Dragon Ball exclusive convention known as Kamehacon has taken it upon themselves in having Vic Mignogna return to their convention next month on April 12th, and why this is a significant victory for those that do stand with Vic Mignogna, as over on the other side, the hashtag KickVic individuals and members of that community are very upset in not only having to blame convention owners, but now having to blame fans for not only the reinstatement of Vic Mignogna and having to partake in these conventions, but also having to blame fans for their support against such an accuser, as they are saying. As once more before we begin, if you guys are new to this channel and of course love anime and Dragon Ball alongside want to be up to date with all the latest involving Vic Mignogna, Monica Rial, Jamie Marchi, Ron Toy, and the entire situation, then be sure to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload and to be up to date with all latest news and information, along with checking out and subscribing to my primary channel Unreal and Gaming, where on there we are going to be covering lots of Dragon Ball content, anime, and gaming, so make sure you guys go on ahead and check that channel out over there, alongside following me on Twitter at Unreal and Gaming for all the latest updates, including if you guys have any articles and or pictures to tag me in or share with me, be sure to go on ahead and follow me on Twitter. Now the SJWs are losing. They're fighting a losing battle because Vic Mignogna has been reinstated by Kamehacon for the sole purpose of Vic having to attend this convention for the fans following the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly, and it's because of this the owners, the real owners of Kamehacon, shoutouts to Slaytosh and Bradley, took it upon themselves to listen to you. They heard your voices, they read your messages, they saw what you guys wanted, and for this exclusive convention, they're going to be giving you Vic Mignogna. Of course, I'm going to be there and I can't wait to meet everyone there, including Vic Mignogna myself. But of course, if there is a lesson to learn here, it's the fact that the principle of the matter counts most than having to go based off of hearsay alone. Now, the conventions at first, many conventions, they barred Vic Mignogna from attending their conventions. They did not want him to have any sort of interaction with anybody, including other voice actors, and just like HawaiiCon, just like Anime Matsuri, we see how Kamehacon now took it upon themselves to listen to the fan base, the real fan base, the people that are going to be spending their hard-earned money and flying in from all over the world just to meet this guy following a very successful movie. And there are members of the Dragon Ball community, there are members of the KickVic community that obviously aren't happy by this, but of course they are the minority. Their voices are very minute in comparison to all of those that have recently come out to point out the flaws in the Accusers story and pointing out the false evidence that has been presented against Vic Mignogna. So yes, Kamehacon is going to be bringing back Vic Mignogna, in which I do encourage you guys to check out their website for more information, and this is a good thing going forward in terms of all the other conventions that basically barred Vic now, because we saw the influence behind Ty Beard, Nick Rekieta over on his live streams, Emish's Live, and many other individuals, Yellow Flash, and Umbrella Guy. Many people in this community aren't doing what they're doing for supposed clicks, but pointing out the empirical evidence that this man, there is a 99.9% chance that this man is innocent, and what these conventions have done, what these voice actors have done against him in assassinating his character is wrong. So by that, they're bringing him back, they're giving the fans what they want, and that is in and of itself a very good thing. Now, the owners were originally pressured by Monica Rial, Ron Toye, Jamie Marchi, even hell, Chris Sabat, which was a huge surprise considering the fact that nobody thought that Chris Sabat would be involved behind the scenes trying to dictate the pacing behind this, trying to ruin a man's career. But of course, there have been lots of stories floating around involving Chris Sabat for many years as well, not more or less involving anything similar to Vic's story, but more or less having to be abusive when it comes to controlling his power and having an abusive power nonetheless. So with that, this is a victory for all those that were accused of doing something with no evidence, no empirical evidence to back up any claims, and for Vic Mignogna's career to be utterly destroyed by these individuals, as they keep always bringing up and saying that there are over 20 women, 30 women, 50 women, hundreds of women coming out and trying to testify against him with no legit evidence. Finally, there's another convention that took the stance of Vic Mignogna in having to bring him back. So again, huge shoutouts to Kamehacon. Of course, not everyone a part of Kamehacon is happy about this, wink wink. So, you know, it's kind of funny to see how, you know, this man that had everything pointed at him and accusing him of being a monster, and for him to be back now, not everyone is happy. Not everyone is happy, and I'm not going to name any names, but I find that to be very ironic and very hysterical to find out how certain individuals that are in the position of power aren't taking it upon themselves to rejoice in the fact that we're getting this man at this convention and being a part of something very special for the Dragon Ball community. Because is it not for the Dragon Ball community, or is it for your bottom dollar, Mr. Wink Wink? So, you know, I think that it's a very good thing that Vic Mignogna is going to essentially be a part of this convention, because he is the original English dub voice actor for Broly. A lot of people love Broly, I love Broly, and this is a major L for the social justice cowards that wanted to destroy this man's career, because now more and more conventions are being pressured in looking at the objective evidence, not the subjective bias of a few orca whales having to cry out in their defense of something that never happened to begin with, but looking at the overall evidence presented, taking a look at what the lawyer that's representing the man is saying, and having to take the stance and saying, okay, maybe this man is not guilty of what these people are accusing him of. Maybe we made the wrong decision. So here, Kamehacon had done the right thing in bringing this man back, not only for the sake of him having to make money again, but also appealing to those that paid money to go see him, whether or not they are fans of Dragon Ball, Full Metal Alchemist, Ruby, whatever the case may be. It's a pretty cool thing to see him be a part of this, because he is a part of one of the most successful anime movies, Dragon Ball Super Broly, and a part of that playing the role of a character in which now a lot of people have grown to love, because the Broly character essentially is very different than what we've seen in the original, and being that his role has been reprised and we see a different take on the character itself, it's a pretty cool thing for the sake of community, because at the end of the day, this has always been for the community. This has always been for the fans like myself, fans like you watching this. So go on over to Vic Mignogna's Twitter, show him some love, and again, make sure you guys are following me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork, because I'm going to keep you guys up to date whenever I do go to Kamehacon on April 12th, and I hope to meet a lot of you guys there, including Vic Mignogna. And again, the moral principle here is having to stand up for someone that's being attacked from all angles, especially when there's no evidence. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of a clip from Nick Rekieta's live stream in further elaborating as to what I'm saying, so take a look.
And I want to say this. I've been a very big critic of companies, and in this context, the cons and so forth, for immediately leaping to judgment without even bothering to get the other side of the story, just cutting people loose and everything. The problem is not so much that they do that. I mean, their motives are typically, I don't think, particularly sinister. They're just trying to make sure that they're, you know, that their business will survive. But they're enabling and even encouraging more of the same. And, you know, it's like feeding piranhas in your swimming pool. So, you know, sooner or later, if you try to go swimming, and I want to personally, you know, take my metaphorical hat off to Kamehacon. As a business owner myself, and you are too, Nick, you know as well as I do that actually taking a risk like this, even if it's the principled thing to do, even if it's the right thing to do, takes no small amount of courage, because, you know, this is risky on their part. They really don't know how the fans are going to react. Now, you and I believe that they're going to be shocked at how positive the reaction is, but they don't know that. So to the Kamehacon guys, I want to quote General Patton and just say, well done, you magnificent bastards. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a little bit of a leap of faith, right? Because what I was getting at is the traditional sort of model of thinking about these things says, okay, we have to capitulate, and if we capitulate, we'll go under the radar. I propose that we've seen some examples out there of companies that resist that capitulation. Mm-hmm. They stand up to the mob, and they do better than they otherwise would have.
So I'm going to go on ahead and leave you guys off with a clip from Nick Rekieta's live stream. I do encourage you guys to go on ahead and check his channel out. Let me know your thoughts on Vic Mignogna coming back to Kamehacon. Let me know if you guys are going to be attending Kamehacon yourselves, and spread the message, spread the word, retweet my tweets over on Twitter, retweet Vic Mignogna's tweets, and retweet Nick Rekieta's live streams, and of course his tweets as well. We need to get the message out there that it's not right for an innocent person to just have the finger pointed at him and have his entire career be destroyed, have his entire reputation be tarnished just over hearsay, and I think that it's wrong, and I think that what the community is doing now is right for standing up for what's right and of course for what's fair in terms of justice. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, slap a like down below if you guys are for Vic Mignogna. Tune back in for the next video. Follow me on Twitter at UnrealNetwork and subscribe to my main channel at UnrealNetwork. Thank you all once more. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into the clip. Here we go.
You know, you can just simply do the right thing once the situation clarifies. But I would like to suggest that to everybody, how about you ask the person that's accused what happened? And how about instead of firing them immediately, you wait a week. Let the situation let the marketplace of ideas work. Maybe the person is a predator, but give that person some time to respond. Don't just immediately leap. And the thing is, the louder somebody demands that you act unfairly, I personally think that's pretty strong evidence. You know, the louder they do that, the more likely it is they're simply lying.
Yeah, it's what? Well, I mean, the Shakespeare line is methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Precisely.
And we see that, right? Like and they know. I think they know that their numbers are few. Their numbers are few and their support is thin. And so if they're just loud enough and they're just, one thing I've noticed, and tell me if you've noticed this, they're crude. And their crudity helps manufacture a false outrage. I've noticed a marked increase in the use of the F word in public discourse and in professional discourse amongst this specific crowd. And it seems like they use that to make sure you know they're angry. It's very intentional.
Yeah. It's also very annoying.
Right.
Very annoying. Now, understand, my father could have taught cussing at the PhD level. And believe me, well, you know this, Nick. I mean, when I get wound up, I can stand toe to toe with a Marine Corps drill instructor. Now, I can't quite string as many words consecutively together, but on a word by word basis, oh yeah, I'm competitive. But swearing is at the essence a verbal art form. There's nothing more affected, phony, and pathetic than people who write cuss words. I don't think I've ever intentionally said a cuss word in a written communication, unless, of course, I was quoting somebody. Because it just comes off to me like a 10-year-old boy trying to impress the 15-year-old boys, you know?
Sure.
And the junior high kid trying to impress a high school kid.